Hello, my name is Joshua and welcome to another video on this Deep Ridge channel. It is the month of January. No, it's not. It's February now. Here are the movies and TV shows that I watched last month. The first thing I watched this month was the New Year's Day documentary, whatever you want to call it, Harry Potter Return to Hogwarts. I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter franchise. It's probably the film franchise that I've watched the most because it always used to be on TV. I used to watch the DVDs all the time that my parents had. This documentary was really nice, really heartwarming. It's nice to see all of these people meet each other again and talk about their experiences on set and that, and it's really interesting to see all of that. So all around, this is a really good documentary and I'd rate it a 8.5. And then everyone was talking about the Scream franchise because the new Scream film was coming out. So I thought I'd go back and watch for the first time the original. And this was like an amazing slasher film. The Scream mask is iconic. I like how meta it is at times. You're just questioning throughout the film who is the murderer. I just love the whodunit aspect. And the reveal of who the killers were is just perfect. Probably one of the best final acts I've seen of a film. Matthew Lillard's performance in this film was just so good, especially when he's revealed to be the killer. It's just so good. So I'll give it a 9.5. And then I watched a follow-up, Scream 2. This was a really good follow-up. I liked how all of the characters returned basically, apart from the ones who died. I also thought I'd mention the opening scenes for these films as well, because the opening scene for the first film, obviously iconic. The opening scene for this one might even be better. It was just amazing, so intense. It also gets really meta with a movie being made based on the events of the first Scream film. And this film was like really where I started liking Dewey and Sydney and Gail as like a trio. They just worked really well together. One thing I cannot forgive is that they killed off Randy. That was really shocking and I was really upset by that. You didn't have to do that to Randy. Why? He was like one of my favourites from the first film and then he got killed off. I also think the reveal of the killers was a little bit underwhelming at the end as well. I feel like the first film did it much better. So all around I give this film a 7.5. It's a decent follow-up, but it does have some issues. And then I skipped Scream 3. I'm sorry. I just went to Scream 4 because it was on Netflix. This was a really fun film in the franchise. I do want to say that the colour grading is awful in this film though. It looks like someone farted bum juice all over the camera. Why did I say that? It looks like everything's glowing in this film. Yeah, it looks really weird. The reveal at the end of this film was just phenomenal. It's just one of the best reveals in this franchise. That final act was really good. I like the new characters that were introduced. They felt very fleshed out, so when they were killed off, you did like really feel for them. So all around, this was a really solid follow-up. I rate it a 9. And then I watched Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, directed by Gilderoy Lockhart himself, Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh. I think this is a really decent adaptation of the Mary Shelley book. I actually read this book in English class. I like how it has a bit of a spin on the book. It changes some stuff up a bit. I especially like when Frankenstein tried to resurrect Elizabeth after she died. That didn't happen in the book. But some changes, I feel like they're trying to make Frankenstein more of a hero, because in the book he was very selfish. I'm surprised how many well-known actors were in this film as well. Obviously Robert De Niro playing the monster. There's also a lot of Harry Potter actors in this film as well. There is some really weird editing choices in this film. Also, Frankenstein is half naked in some of these scenes for literally no reason at all. But all around, this is a pretty good adaptation. I would give it a 7. And then I watched Tremors. This was a really fun action comedy horror film. It's very fun. Kevin Bacon, obviously, alongside, I forgot his name. Just really fun comedy about big worms coming out the ground to eat people. There's just some really funny and memorable characters in this film. Intense action scenes. There's also some really good practical effects in this film as well. And all around, it's just a great film. So I'd give it an 8. And then all of the Marvel one-shots got released on Disney Plus. So I thought I'd give them a watch. Starting with the Consultant one-shots. This was just a 5-minute conversation between Agent Coulson and the other guy, I can't remember his name. It's just a lot of exposition, it's just a lot of information, and I don't really care for it. Yeah, I give it a 6. And then I watched A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer. This one's a little bit better than the last. It shows Agent Coulson beating up these robbers in slow motion and that. It's pretty fun. It's 5 minutes. I don't even know if I should rate these, but yeah, I give it a 7. And then I watched Item 47. This is a little bit longer than the last two. It is 15 minutes long, I think. It gives time to develop these characters who have like stole a piece of alien tech from the aftermath of the New York battle from Avengers, and it just shows what they're doing with it, like they're robbing a bank and that, and it's just fun to see. And there's some pretty good cinematography for like a 15-minute short, so I give it a 7.5. And then I watched the Agent Carter Marvel one-shot. This is probably my favourite out of all the one-shots that I watched. She's pretty sick with her handbag, you know, she's like smacking people with her handbag, beating up guys, and it's just fun to watch. And it has time to develop a character a bit, I think. And then finally I watched Team Thor Part 1, 2 and Darryl. This was like a really funny short. I put these all together because like they're basically the same. I like the mockumentary aspect to it. Thor's moved in with this like normal guy, and it's just funny to seeing the like shenanigans and that, and it feels like a good setup for Ragnarok. And Team Darryl, obviously after Ragnarok, showing Jeff Goldblum hanging out with Darryl. Just fun few shorts. I give it an 8. Did I rate Agent Carter? Sorry, I give Agent Carter an 8.5. Speaking of Jeff Goldblum, he released part 2 to season 2 of his show. I didn't even know there's going to be a part 2, and I felt like I had to watch it because I've watched part 1 and I watched season 1. It's interesting, it's fun, I don't know what to say. I'll rate it a 6.5. And then I watched the show Smiling Friends. This show wasn't available in the UK, so I did have to do a little bit of the illegals. I watched the first 2 episodes on all 4 when they came out, and I was just tempted to watch the rest of it like straight away. So yeah, I did the illegal. The animation style of the show is just so unique. It's really funny, really rewatchable. The episodes are 10 minutes long. They're not really connected to each other. I like the use of claymation and like SpongeBob like close-ups as well in moments. Like I said, just interesting and unique. The characters in this show are just so funny and unique as well. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. And then with my Christmas money, I decided to get Battle Royale on 4K. This was a really good Japanese film. It feels like Squid Game mixed with Hunger Games. It's just a really fun film. I like the short comedic moments in this film, and you get attached to all of these characters as well. This film does a really good job at introducing these characters and explaining their relationships before this battle royale, and you feel much more for them when they die. Yeah, all around it's just a really well made film, very unique. So yeah, I'll give it a 9. And then I watched Tremors 2 Aftershocks. This is a really unexpected follow-up. I didn't expect it to be this good. It was like a straight to DVD sequel, I think. Obviously it doesn't have Kevin Bacon, which is a bit upsetting, but it has the other guy returning, and some other characters return as well. We've got some new characters who are really enjoyable as well, and the practical effects are much more improved in this film, I think, as well. The practical effects in the first one were really good, but this one like one-ups them, I think. They've introduced like walking graboids now, which was a really interesting concept, like switch it up. CGI, bit dodgy. I also think there's like a lack of music at some moments, and it just feels a bit awkward. I'll give it a 7. And then the final thing that I watched this month was Marvel's Hit Monkey. This was a really fun, unique show about a monkey who takes revenge on the guys who killed his family. Very interesting animation. There's some 3D aspects to it. There's some blurring. They're trying to add some depth to the image. All the characters in this show are interesting, and it manages to make a monkey pretty cool. I've never seen that before in my life, but this show does it, and it does it really well. So I'd give it a 9. So that is it for the movies and TV shows that I watched in January. I'm currently still watching The Book of Boba Fett. I like the first 2 episodes. The 3rd episode, I don't have a clue what happened. Episode 4 is a little bit better with the Sarlacc pit and that, but I was just still bored. And then episode 5 was one of the best episodes of TV I've watched in my life, but it didn't have Boba Fett in it at all. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens next. I'm also currently watching Peacemaker. This show is not available in the UK, which is why I had to do a little bit of the illegals again. This show is absolutely so fun. You're hooked onto the screen the whole time, like even when Peacemaker's not on screen, which I really like about the show. It's not all about Peacemaker. It focuses on a lot of other characters. The twists at the end of all the episodes are so amazing. The intro sequence is just a 10 out of 10 alone. Yeah, I'm on episode 5, really enjoying it so far. And I'm also watching Family Guy. In December, I decided to put myself up to the task of watching every single Digital Era Simpsons episode, which was rated 7.5 or over on IMDb. I'm doing the exact same with Family Guy, only this time I'm doing the whole series. Really good references, really good jokes, really well done jokes. Some of them not so much. Some characters do get on my nerves a bit after a long time of watching them, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you didn't, please leave a dislike. And I will see you in the next video.